unto Peter concerning in Acts the 10th chapter. Now go over to Romans chapter 16 verse 25. Let's furthermore get into that. All this was done in play to set up the judgment of the Gentiles as a reason being why they should be judged. Because they know the word of the Lord and they received this gospel already. They knew the word of the Lord, they received this gospel, and they're currently not doing such. That is why the Lord is angry. And that's why the Lord is going to judge the Gentiles as a nation. The same way he judged Israel as a nation. When we received the word and we rejected the gospel. Read Romans chapter 16 verse 25.
Not to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahushua according to the revelation of the mystery.
Right, there it is, Paul again speaking of that mystery. Read.
Mystery which was kept secret since the world began.
Right, it was kept secret since the world began. Okay, concerning, this word being extended out to the actual Gentiles. You understand? So we get to understanding that's why the apostles was told to go amongst the nations and they was told to teach the word. You understand? Because the Bible already told you in Deuteronomy the 4th chapter that the Gentiles would hear this word. Okay? When the Lord's statutes commandments went out, and what the Gentiles would do, they would say, this is such a wise and understanding people. So the prophets and the apostles were considered to be wise in the eyes of the Gentiles, whereas Israel was stubborn and rebellious toward his word. You understand? That was all part to set up the jealousy of Romans 11 chapter concerning the actual Gentiles over the children of Israel, of being accepted in the word of the Lord, which all plays into the New Testament times. We get the understanding of the scriptures. Read on.
Verse 26, but now is made manifest by the scriptures of the prophets according to the commandments of the everlasting God.
Right, so now it's being manifested according to the scriptures of the prophets commanded by who?
The everlasting God.
By the everlasting God. So now the prophets and the teachers in the last days got the understanding, which started after the death of Christ concerning this matter. Read on.
All right. Made known to all nations for the obedience of faith.
That's the whole point of why the gospel had to be reached unto the nations. So the nations will have no, what they call that? They will have no excuse. They will have no excuse for when it's time for them to be judged. That was the whole point. Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 verse 1. Now let's go into it even deeper. Okay, give me Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter and the 1st verse. You understand? So that's why the obedience of faith had to be known unto all nations. All right, so they could be without excuse. All right. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 verse 1.
Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
Read.
Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in a multitude of nations.
Right, it says, give ear to them that rule the what?
Give ear, ye that rule the people.
That rule the people, read.
And a multitude of nations.
Right, so it says, therefore ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. All right, so the Israelites was never judges of the ends of the earth during the time of Solomon. You understand? So the Gentiles that came into power and rulership, they're the judges of the ends of the earth right now. We just read Job 9:24 when it said the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. The reason why they're wicked is because instead of doing what the word of the Lord said in government and sovereignship of his word, the Gentiles did totally opposite. So this is what Solomon said concerning them. Read verse 2 again.
Give ear, ye that rule the people.
Give ear, ye that rule the people, read.
And glory in a multitude of nations.
And glory in a multitude of nations, read.
For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest.
Right, power was given unto you by the Lord. See, the Lord was the one that put the Gentiles in power. Like it tells you in the book of Daniel. He set up kings and he removeth kings. He set up nations and he places even the basis of men above you. All right, so this is what Solomon is bringing out concerning that. The sovereignty from the highest. I mean, it was a Lord's privilege to bring you in power. All right, who should try your works. The reason why you be tried by your works is because you will first know the works, which would they be good or evil. Right?
And search out your counsels.
Right, and search out your counsels. Now, we already read in the book of Psalms concerning how the counsel of the wicked was contrary to the word of the Lord. We just read that in Psalms, the 5th chapter, and Psalms, the 9th chapter. All right, so those same counsels the Lord is going to judge the heathen by. And that main heathen the Lord is going to judge them is the so-called white race. That's the main heathen who the Lord is going to judge. Read.
Because being ministers of his kingdom.
Now stop. It's to become being ministers of his kingdom. Ministers means to orchestrate. Okay, that's what it is. Like he's orchestrating the kingdom, meaning he's running the show of his kingdom. Read.
You have not judged aright, nor kept the law.
Right. So how can the Gentiles and the so-called white men be told that they have not kept the law if they never received the law? That doesn't make any sense. And the Lord said they have not judged aright. Why? Because the Lord said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Read.
Nor walk after the counsel of the Most High.
Hold that. Give me Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Because certain men try to say that the ministers was referring to the elders of their church.
Yeah.
But that just got cut here by Solomon.
And they're still teaching that nonsense.
Right. Yeah. Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Because the ministers represent the ones who the Lord set up to rule. Okay, that's the point. Read Romans chapter 13, verse 1. And that represents the higher powers. Read.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
The scripture said, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Read.
For there is no power but of God.
The Lord said there is no power but of the Most High. You understand? That's why the Lord said ministers of his kingdom. Meaning the Most High, although Satan, he has allowed Satan to have a say-so in his kingdom. Eventually he's going to take Satan out and all his devils and all his angels and all that do wickedly, and he's going to replace them with his son and the righteous, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect. Read.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
Right. The rulers of this earth are ordained by God. So the reason why the so-called white man's in rulership is because God said so. It's his time to rule. You understand? Read.
Whosoever therefore resisted the power resisted the ordinance of God.
That's why when you Negroes try to have a rebellion against this man, your civil rights movement or your little your Black Panther parties that you try to actually physically take down this man, it got smashed. It got smashed because guess what? The powers that was set up by the Heavenly Father. All right. That's why the Lord said, whosoever resists of the power will be destroyed. All right. So you can't take this devil out with your bare hands. Christ is the only one, and he's the anointed who the Lord is going to choose to destroy this man. Read.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
And if you resist the ordinance of these earthly rulers, the Lord said you receive to yourself damnation. Okay, because he'll make your life a living hell, and the Lord's going to turn his back on you. That's why when you get the understanding, what did Christ told Pilate? Okay, Christ told Pilate that you will have no power except it be my Father who gives it. All right, that's the whole point when he spoke unto Pilate. All right, in other words, Christ admitted and recognized Pilate as being in power at that time. You understand? But it was through the Most High's will that occurred and happened. That's just like the so-called white race today. Read.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
Right. So if you're doing what you have to do, the white man really is not going to bother you. Okay, if you're doing what you got to do, if you're not just going around being civil disobedient, okay, causing chaos and being a menace in his society, he's not really going to harm you or do anything towards you. Read.
But to do evil.
But to the evil. But if you're doing that which is wicked and you breaking his laws, okay, then that's when he sends his police department and his military and his army against you. Just like all the other Gentile nations that came up in power after him that we were serving captivity under. Read.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
You have to respect this man because this man is in power. He has a military, he has an army, he has a navy. Okay, he has mighty men. All right, he has our people's brains. Hell, you got men of the nation of Israel that was willing to die for this man.
Yep.
Okay, we have to start a 12-year campaign against Coonalites before we even get to these damn crackers. You understand? So this man has power. Okay, like it tells you in Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, it tells you that the oppressors on their side is power. All right, and it seems like as if there's no one there to comfort us. When we read Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter in the Bible. Read on.
Will thou then not be afraid of the power?
The Lord said, are you not going to be afraid of the power? You have to be afraid of the power because that's who God set up to be in power. Read on.
All right, do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
If you do that what you have to do, and you're not trying to break this man's laws and do that which is against his civil law, then you don't have nothing to worry about. You just serve your captivity and your sentence, and guess what? Hey, when Christ come back to break you out of jail, then that's when you live your life. Read.
For he is a minister of God to thee for good.
Who is this so-called white race?
For he is a minister of God to thee for good.
Right, because there's certain things that the Lord could see. You understand something? The Lord is the one who controls his man. Man's goings of the Lord. He can control this white man to do something good for you. All right. He could control this white man to do good things for you in this kingdom. All right. Certain things and benefits of the society could be for your own well-being and for your protection. You understand? Read.
But if thou do that which is evil.
But if you go ahead and break his civil law and be disobedient unto him, read.
Be afraid.
Be afraid because a man's going to beat you up. He's going to police brutality you. Okay. He's going to kill you. Read.
For he beareth not the sword in vain.
We just read about that sword in Psalms the 17th chapter. That's the same sword that was in Genesis 27:40, where the Lord said he would give unto Esau. Esau was blessed with a great sword, and this man does not beareth that sword in vain. Meaning, a white man likes to kill. He's a killer. He's a hunter, just like Esau was in the beginning. That's his nature. Read.
For he is a minister of God.
He is a minister of who?
Of God.
He's a minister of God. Meaning God's the one who set this man up in power to orchestrate the earth as it is. Read.
A revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
That's the reason why the white man was risen up in power to put our people in captivity. Because we did evil towards God. And God was the one that raised this man up against us. So let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 6. Concerning the ministers.
Because being ministers of his kingdom.
Now we're going back to you, crackers. Because you are ministers of God's kingdom, like Paul explained in Romans 13, when back then you was known as a Roman Empire. Okay, because the heads of the Caesars and the top elite of the Roman Empire were Edomites. Read.
Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged right.
That's why you coming out of power, white man. Because the Lord said you have not judged righteously. You received the gospel in the New Testament, and you have the Bibles in your court systems, but you have not judged the world righteously. You have judged the world against the words of God. Read.
Nor kept the law.
You have not kept the law. Okay, what law does America keep? What law in your kingdom have you kept according to God's law? That's why the Lord is going to bring judgment upon you in these latter days. Read.
No walk after the counsel of the Most High.
You don't walk after the counsel of God. You walk after the counsel of Satan. Okay, you got your trilateral commission and your foreign council of foreign relations, which is all nothing but demonology that you have. Okay, and in charge of spreading drugs and going after these different nations who possess oil. Okay, unrighteously. Okay, and to fill your filthy pockets to rape, rob, and murder. And in the midst of that, you're indoctrinating the nations with your nonsense. Read.
Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a short judgment shall be to them that be in high places.
The Lord said he's going to judge sharply them which be in high places. Read.
For mercy will soon pardon the mean.
The Lord said for mercy will soon pardon the meanest. Read.
But mighty men shall be mightily tormented.
But the Lord said mighty men shall be mightily tormented. Okay, so that's how the Lord is going to deal in these last days. Let's get 2 Ezra chapter 11 verse 16.
2 Ezra chapter 11 verse 16.
Right, and this is mainly concerning you so-called white people. Read.
Hear thou that has borne rule over the earth so long.
Right, this man has ruled the earth for a very long time. Okay, that's why the Lord said, hear thou him that has borne rule over the earth for so long. Read.
This I say unto thee before thy beginnings to appear no more.
Right, because that's why in the book of Obadiah, what did it say? There should be no more remaining of the house of Esau. Because this is the white man's last rulership. Because after this rulership, he's not going to appear anymore on this earth. All right, in any form, body of government. Okay, the men of his nation is going to be brutally tortured and killed. His male children is going to be destroyed. His female children, or his females that we wish to take upon us, will be our concubines. And the ones of them that we wish not, okay, they're going to be out in the field until they die somewhere. Okay, and that's the bottom line. And eventually that type of harsh treatment that we're going to be doing upon the nation of Esau and the kingdom of the children of Edom is going to become the beginning of the extinction of their kingdom. Okay, the extinction not just of their kingdom, but the extinction of their nation. Okay, that's why the Lord say, hear now this, thou that has ruled for such a long time, before thou beginnest to appear no more. Because this is the last stop for the so-called white race. Read.
There shall none after thee attain unto thy time.
Right, there's not going to be any other that's going to come after you that's going to even have any sort of rulership like you have here in America and what you've had for the past few hundred years, going back to the time of the Spanish Inquisition of the 1400s. Okay, as of right now, the white man's been ruling for about what, 600-700 years. Okay, and yeah, we're going to count the Spanish Inquisition, because the Spanish Inquisition, okay, was when, okay, you really begin to surface the earth in rulership. All right, because the Spaniards were Edomites. Okay, and they too had the emblem of the eagle, like it tells you in Obadiah. That's Edom's thing. Okay, the French Rothschilds, Napoleon had the emblem of the eagle. Russia had the eagle in their coats of arms, as well as the bear. Okay, with the Bolshevik Revolution. Okay, all your Edomite heads all had the eagle. The Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish. Okay, the British even had the eagles as well, right along with the lion on certain of their coats of arms. Yeah. And when you get to understanding, you came in power as a Spanish, and you begin to rape, rob, and murder the 10 tribes of Israel, which are the Hispanics and Native and Seminole Indians. Read.
Neither unto the half thereof.
Right, so you basically going to be destroyed, man. Okay, that's it for you, man. You basically going to be destroyed, man. Okay, let's get Romans chapter 11, verse 25.